Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl, the Cobra Froch. We're here for the IBA boxing event. It's about to kick off in about 2 minutes. I'm looking around the room and we've got Tyson Fury's just passed by. Terence Crawford, we've all had a little go with him already. And there's a couple of names kicking off. Oh, here we go. There's a big baby Miller. Not sure what's going to go down here. Get a mic, get a mic.
You got a mic for real, oh shit.
How are you, my boy?
I'm alive, but
good,
you know, I got a little bone to pick with you.
We're going to have a chat. Come into my office.
Yeah. You know, I don't agree with everything you say. And a couple years ago when the shit went down with AJ, you was very vocal and verbal. I got a verbal beating from you. I know you say you might not remember, you do remember. But I take shit personal. You know, I got a memory of an elephant. I know you're doing your job and certain things, but it's how you say it. And I'm a man that's sensitive sometimes.
Did that genuinely upset you when I was talking about what happened before the AJ fight? Because a lot of people were excited because AJ's got his fans, but he's also got his people that want to see him tested and want to see if he's good enough to be in the game. And when what happened with you, when the news got released that you'd failed for PEDS, it was like, what's he doing? And it was disappointing for a lot of people. And I can't even remember what I said. I definitely know I didn't verbally abuse you because it would have been on Sky Sports. So, I mean, I'm kind of hoping you're probably not that pissed off because,
shit
I'm
died
up for a straightener if you are.
No. Listen, you know what?
No straighteners? I'm glad you didn't hear that.
Listen, I said what I had to say. You said what you had to say. It's bridge on the water.
You sounded a bit pissed off the other day, dude. It was like, Froch.
You know what? It was like AJ, the whole. Every time I hear a bunch of British guys' name pop up, I'm ready to throw some punches.
Yeah.
But, it's cool. The sad part about the whole scenario from the beginning was, if Eddie Hearn would have did his due diligence back then, it would have been a lot different. You know what I mean? Because it was a sex pill. We all taken a little Viagra, see how that's before. And if he would have came out the right way and said what he needed to be said, it'd have been water on the bridge. But sometimes the loudest person in the room makes the most noise. Yeah. And, it is what it is now. I still want to punch him in the face, but
Well, listen, since then, and what's your fight with Andy Ruiz?
Correct.
Someone who ironed out AJ in the first fight. He got him back in the rematch in Riyadh. I was there that night. He boxed and moved.
Bullshit.
What, you didn't enjoy the fight?
No, I did not because I think AJ just ran for his life and they know Ruiz was partying, hanging out, and he just hurried, put him back in and threw a bunch of money at him. Like he bought the belt in Charles Martin fight and he bought the belt back with the Ruiz second fight. So like I said, AJ knows how to pick him. Yeah. And when he steps up against real killers, different story. Well,
you fought Ruiz the other day. I thought you'd won. Thought you did enough. Good little fight as well. Good little fight.
Yeah, it was good.
Thought you did enough. And I feel like there's a lot of people that deserve a shot. And you was there. The opportunity was there. That went. What happens happened. We've moved on. What was it? A couple of years? 3 years ago? So now do you like genuinely want to put yourself there to say, I'll fight AJ? Because me personally, I think, and I don't want to disrespect you at all, but in terms of a measuring stick for AJ, who's got these world title ambitions, he wants to become a 3-time world champ, he wants to rematch Usyk, apparently. And I mean, he really wants the Fury fight, and he wants the Daniel Dubois rematch more than Usyk. But Usyk's there, and he's lost him to him twice. But realistically, he's not going to go straight in with that. He's going up for surgery. So you would be considered by people on this team as a bit of a measuring stick. Have I still got it? Can I still do it? Let's fight Baby Miller and find out. But what would you be going into that fight thinking? I mean,
you got to think about it. Realistically, I'm the #1 heavyweight in America. Regardless of inactivity right now, I bring it, I talk it, and I walk the walk. So the main thing right now is if AJ really believes in himself, because he said he wanted to fight Jarrell Anderson or some nonsense like that. Well, we all know Jarrell Anderson's not mentally that day. He's physically doesn't have his man strength as yet. Maybe in 2-3 years, a couple more fights, I think Anderson would be a good, tough opponent. But he's not there manly in that, I feel like. So I feel like I'll be the perfect person. Everybody wants to see that Sky Sports interview we did a couple years ago. I could talk the talk and walk the walk, but I feel Eddie Hearn wants that more than AJ. I feel like AJ's definitely running for the hills. As a matter of fact, he turned the fight down 4 times in the last month. So,
hang on, just roll back that.
It's recently.
He's turned it down already.
Yeah, Turkey has made previous phone calls. He doesn't want that fight. So that's what makes you skeptical about his heart. Because you say you want to fight a good opponent, but really you're looking for a tune-up. So Jarrell Anderson's really a tune-up for him, but they're trying to sell it as a tough fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel that I have already said it. I've been vocal about it. I think Anthony Joshua's, he's had his career. He's had his highs, he's had his lows, and he's finished on an almighty crashdown with Daniel Dubois ironing him out at Wembley Stadium.
100%.
I mean,
100%.
that was a bad knockout. And I feel his confidence has gone, and I don't think he can rebuild it unless he wants to fight lower level tiered fighters, like journeyman type fighters.
I think you should.
I don't think you're a journeyman.
Not 100%
I think you're going to give
not.
people a tough fight.
100%.
And I think you give AJ a really, really tough fight that could go either way. Would you go into that fight confident? How would you tackle the fight? Would you meet him head on?
I'll run him right over. I think Dubois had the right mentality. He was going to box for a little bit. He realized that AJ was trying to jump on him, and he went to blow with AJ, and he got the best of it. I've always said from before, even from the beginning, I'm good at reading people. And I knew AJ was suspect. I knew his heart was suspect. You know, when you're built up in your background and your playground, you feel like you're the baddest man on the planet. When you step out of your comfort zone, you realize you're the small fish in the pond. He came to America one time, got his ass whooped, but never came back. Unfortunately, he's big in the UK, he's big in Europe, but nobody in America gives a fuck about AJ. So the thing is right now is I want to take over the American market, of course, but I definitely want that fight with him because I know if he gets knocked out one more time, it's game over. He's done.
If you could say something to Eddie Hearn to try and get this fight, I mean, I'll be saying a few things anyway. I think this fight should happen. I think it's a great fight. Well, it's not a great fight for Anthony Joshua because I think he's going to struggle. I think he needs a tune-up before maybe a Tyson Fury. Or does he deserve a Tyson Fury fight? We don't even know.
I don't think he deserves a Tyson Fury. I think the guys for him is like either me or Deontay, or who else? We got Martin Bacoli. Guys are like in that top 3 to 10 area. You know, I'm three in the WBA, and I'm working the WBC. I'm working to getting all the rankings again.
Have you seen much of Fabio Wardley? Because he can punch a bit.
Well, listen, I totally forgot about that Fabio Wardley. Of course, the fight fell through due to I had an injury and some other things. But like I said, I would love to get the fight back with Fabio Wardley. Yeah. It just has to be an even playing field. You know, unfortunately, you know, with the British Board of Boxing, they don't like us Americans over there. No. But at the end of the day, you understand that we also make the market too. We also are fan favorites. People like the shit talking. It's part of the game. It's part of bravado.
I like a little bit of shit talk myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes it gets me into trouble, but I'm a good talker. I'll get myself out of it.
He's a great shit talker. He's a great shit talker.
What would you say to Eddie Hearn now about this fight?
You know what, Cousin Eddie, I know me and you have our problems back and forth in the past, but let's get this shit on. We have a bunch of footage we can release, a lot of media to do, and this fight would sell more than any other fight that AJ's ever had in the UK. I know for a fact we can make it happen. But if you really, really want to make this fight happen, it's really up to you. So don't talk tough, because I know you still got some pussy on you.
Fair enough. Listen, I was going to add something there, but I don't need to add. Listen, you're brave, you're confident. You've showed in your last fight against Ruiz that you mean business.
I'm ready, man. Listen, man.
For me, it's a fight that could happen. It's a fight that would sell, and it's an exciting fight. But I just feel the where AJ is now with his head and where Eddie Hearn is with wanting to get the old cash out, you're not part of that plan because you carry too much danger. It's risk-reward. And even though I think it's a big fight, it's not massive, but it's big enough. It's big enough for him to prove.
Huge.
If he fights someone like you and does the job, he's proven himself, moving forward. Right, I'm ready now. I'm ready for this fight or that fight.
But you know, it's one thing to beat a guy in the ring. You got to beat him outside the ring. And one thing for sure is I'm gonna beat him outside the ring before we get in the ring. And that's the main thing now. A lot of fighters nowadays. I got a phone call earlier. A PR guy, he's very good at what he does. He says, "Man, you're scaring guys. Man, sometimes I feel like I gotta bring it back a little bit. But how as a fighter am I supposed to like you if I know I'm potentially gonna fight you? I can't do that. I'll be pump faking you. You know what I'm saying? So be my authentic self. I always gotta talk shit because I know it's gonna make me train harder, and eventually we're gonna get in the ring, and one of us could die, and it ain't gonna be me."
Yeah, I like that style. I like that as well. Best believe it ain't going to be me.
It ain't going to be me. So I got to keep talking, baby.
What's next for Jarrell Big Baby Miller if AJ doesn't grow a set?
I mean, Jared Anderson possibly, you know, he put up on social media today that he made an offer. You know, Turkey's team offered him something. He said he replied yes, which I know is a lie. But also Deontay Wilder, you know, really want to fight an American top guy.
What do you think of Deontay Wilder? Because a lot of people now are saying, listen, it's about done, man.
I think Deontay.
I know he won last time out, but
listen, he looked like shit the last fight, but I think he's really looking for a cash out as well too. So I think AJ might call out Deontay Wilder because that's a firecracker that don't go off. So that'd probably be in his favorite to try to make that fight, be a lot of money on the table. So as you know, Eddie's known for buying belts and buying positions. So you might buy that Deontay Wilder fight.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I think that's a wrap, man. I'm glad we settled the beef.
I'm glad
we didn't have to have a roll around outside. What's the strength in it? Let me just feel that.
He might have lost though.
Let me feel that arm. Let me just feel that.
Yeah,
he's got some power, man. He's got that big unit power.
He's a little older than me, but I ain't gonna test my time with him. He all right.
Nice one.